Alrighty, and welcome to part 2 of This Week in Jump. Starting off this one with Chainsaw Man.
Okay.
What was the main character's name again?
Denji.
Denji. I know this one was a little bit more simple. Denji and Power are meeting in the bathroom.
Awkwardly.
Awkwardly. But again, Power does not have any shame and doesn't really know to deal with people. She is allowing Denji to touch her chest 3 times for saving Meowie, for killing the Bat Devil, and the third is for making it easy for her and the top knot boy, which his name was Aki, I believe.
Yeah, it was a short name, Aki.
Denji goes in and he starts touching, and she pads herself up to have bigger breasts. She still very pretty, but he really feels nothing for groping her.
Well, he had a bunch of build up for thinking that it would be like this great big experience.
Yeah, life changing.
Goes to sleep, wakes up, eats.
He's in a daze, very much in what am I really living for at this moment? What are my dreams? I think he's also realizing the battle of dreams. His dream was really nothing.
Comparatively, no.
Is
Versus killing everybody, that's a much more, I guess, surreal dream or meaningful to them. Because they actually wanted to actualize it. They wanted it to happen.
Mm.
They wanted to kill all humans because that's their driving motivation is they want human blood.
Mm.
They want to eat people. And his was just a fleeting I want to be with a woman
Yeah,
type thing.
in the moment.
Yeah.
When he first transformed, he just wanted to hug a female. Really didn't matter who. And when this random female shows up and gives him to realize that dream, he knew he grew this attachment for her. Not really anything sexual, but on a more on like an actual like relationship between them. She might not care for him in the same way, but they still have a kind of relationship between Denji and the main officer lady,
Makima.
Makima.
Yeah, she acts very sensual and leads him to eventually touching her. And she explicitly goes on about that for him to actually experience something from touching her, you have to be familiar with the person, how they feel, how they. Basically, it's sensual. It's just a bunch of sensual touching, like putting his finger in her mouth and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Risque.
Yes. And when he actually does touch her, he falls back. Like his heart is beating out of his chest. He is so
Revved up and ready to go.
Yeah, there you go.
But he can get another favor.
But he can,
Grant any wish is what she tells him.
yes, but to do so, he has to find this elusive gun devil and take it out.
Yes.
We were told a lot of these devils, they take the name of whatever kind of threat level they are. So like we've had sea cucumbers that were killed in one shot. We had bat devils who were blood-sucking devils that took a little bit more. He himself is a chainsaw, which is very dangerous and full of carnage. A gun.
I wonder if the gun
just
devil
as
has
much.
like a gun head, like his head turns into a gun.
I think they'll go for
Or
the
gun
finger
arms.
guns.
Finger guns.
Yeah.
What's that character from Hunter x Hunter that does that? From the Phantom Troop.
Yes, I know which one you're talking about. I think his name started with an F.
Yeah, the Hunter x Hunter character, Franklin.
Yeah, with where he pops off his like fingertips and just shoots out, and then I think this Gun Devil will be something similar, a little bit, maybe a little bit more grotesque, where he might actually shoot off his fingertips.
Uh, That's a very disgusting visual.
Exactly. For this kind of series, I can see that kind of happening,
Yeah,
especially considering the first couple of chapters.
touche. What you got next?
Next, we have Hell Warden Higuma. Higuma's still fighting this Kitsune fox with katana, and we have Higuma. He's already underneath the skin of the Kitsune fox. He already has broken her psyche, and she's just in a relentless rage right now. He is very calm, and he is doing everything very methodically at this point. He sacrifices his own body so that he can deal a killing blow, or maybe not killing blow, but the blow that will seal the Kitsune fox back, or send it back to hell. And how does he do that? He chops off their hands. Does he want to keep the hands of a murderer? We really don't see here. But we do see that Higuma might have been more forced into becoming a Hell Warden, more than him doing this out of a duty for humanity, doing this as a duty for the underworld. It might not be by his choice that he does it.
Yeah, he's definitely more somber after the fight's over, and he actually had them explain that his body was trained to react and act rather than go based on his heart.
But there are some situations where he does act by his heart. He notices his friend acting a little bit weird. He wants to make sure the Kitsune fox is not targeting his friend that he's helped before.
Yeah.
That was out of his own.
Oh.
That was about. That was out of his own concern for his friend and wanted to do something about it. But this might be one of the very few instances where it's for a little bit of self gain, protecting your friends.
Protecting Akane from, well, I guess getting her unpossessed from the Kitsune.
Yeah.
But she doesn't even remember it. She just has like a slight. She thinks it was all a dream.
Yeah.
She remembers just like the
weird
little,
daydream.
yeah, just like the claw reaching out, and that's about it. And she just thinks that it's a weird dream. She's like, "Well, I'm so glad that you helped me back then." And actually, it turns out back then she, I guess, had like a spirit behind her or
Yes,
something.
that was the. I think they were called Kudamas.
It was like in the first chapter, wasn't it? Like a very basic spirit.
Yes. I think they were Kudamas. So this one was seeing her possessed by this. Hopefully she is not prone for this to happen to her a lot more.
But you have Aya asking him, Ayaha, asking him if he actually wants to be doing it.
Yeah. Does he like
Does he like
doing
his job?
this? What does he really have to gain from this? Obviously, you get a less than useful alarm clock to wake you up and to go to school. So it can't be really a lot of spiritual powers that you can use for your own gain. Like there has to be something Higuma either gets or a reason why he can't just get out of it.
It seems like he just wants to help people, and maybe that's why he does it. But he still feels bad about. He feels pity for the spirits because they're just miserable people. Like she had no idea that. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention about the fact that she had a kid, and then she gave it away, and she didn't realize that she would be ostracized for it.
Yeah, because she would not be able to care for it. She would not be able to be a mother.
Yeah.
But the ragings of a distraught mother really made the emotions brought to the page for for the character, for the chapter. I liked it.
Yeah, liked it too. Like the artwork.
Mhm.
The outfit's cool still. Line work is good, as far as I can tell.
Next, we have My Hero Academia.
Okay.
We had a very slow start to this,
It was a slow burn, I'll agree.
but we were in the middle of finishing up Deku getting new powers, Shinzo being thrown into the mix, and we might have to review how he did before we see where he joins.
He's probably gonna be in Class A.
I believe Class A as well. But the interim with that and Bakugo, Todoroki, and the other failures from the provisional exam, taking it again, and it looked like Gang Orca is
The
is the
practitioner.
practitioner again. He might have some more free time than other people, or maybe that's just what he does right now.
Don't know.
Don't know, but it's really interesting. And then we see the support slash everyday man salesman CEO. I'm not
It's
quite sure.
It's a CEO.
CEO.
They don't name him. They just call him the CEO
Yes,
of Det Detnerat.
Detnerat. And he's at first I thought he was going to be kind of anti quirk and be more on the everyday common man, but no, he's the complete opposite. He wants to do good for people with quirks, for any and all shapes, and he has a certain book that he likes, the Liberation Army principles.
I think it has like two names, depending on the translation.
Yes. So yes, the Meta Liberation book. Essentially, the main thing is liberation, where not it's going for empowerment of people with quirks, of ruling more than like police, politicians, and anything like that. Really, those with actual power are the ones in power, not something political, not something just with
It seemed like
words.
they almost wanted to abolish the idea of having to register quirks and having heroes as like a separate thing, because the company wants to enter into doing, having every entering into the superhero realm,
Yes.
into the hero realm for making products that support heroes
Yeah. Not so
versus
much.
just the everyday stuff.
Yes,
That's what they want to do now.
not so much support items, but stuff that can amplify their quirks.
Yes.
Quirk enhancing medicines, maybe, where we can see that turning a very dark route.
Well, if you read Vigilante, the spin-off manga, there's already like drugs introduced into the universe where they have drug amplifications for quirks.
See, and that's terrifying. That's absolutely terrifying. We see the CEO literally
Kill his right-hand
Kill.
man because he didn't agree with them. That's crazy.
and he himself looks like he has a quirk. I'm not sure exactly what it does.
I don't know. Like he gets veins on his head. His skin darkens.
Yeah.
Maybe it gives him like additional strength, or I have no idea.
I have no idea either. I just know that he's
Apparently, he's the child of the author
yes,
of
that
the book.
the author did not have legitimate children, but he had illegitimate children.
The author's name of the book was Chikara Yotsubashi.
Yes, and it looks like he had somewhat of a Rorschach kind of imprint on his face.
Which means that he has to probably be hiding it constantly. That way people don't make the connection.
Mm-hmm. Which it looks like it's something that you can suppress and is only active when you're actually activating your quirk. But it's also he's taking it looks like he might be taking the name or doing this in the name of Destro,
Mm-hmm.
like destruction.
Mm-hmm.
But on
To
a,
destroy the villains.
on a weird side, going after the villains, which if you are going to become a villain, taking out those kinds of people rather than joining them, I can see why you would want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
The with Full Throttle, they were trying to work with the League of Villains, and look at what they did. The League of Villains just really used the Yakuza,
Yeah.
and just once they got what they needed, they just bailed. They got made sure Full Throttle was. They killed him, right? Full Throttle.
The Yakuza boss?
Yes.
Yeah, he died.
Yeah. He was being transported.
Yeah.
In critical condition, and then they killed him.
Yes. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah. The League of Villains does not make allies. It makes pawns. It makes It makes things they can throw away.
Yes.
Once they're done with them. They're going after. The Destro group is going after League of Villains. I want to see some villain on villain action.
Some extremist on villain, really, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
But you can consider extremist villains, too. So,
yeah. And then at
splitting
the
hairs.
end, we have some people with
Looks like ice quirks, like they're snowboarding.
Well, they were saying it was kind of like soda bubbles.
Yeah. There you go. I was like, it's some type of liquid.
Yes. And waiting for some actual heroes to show up. Who happens to be around the corner?
In a vehicle with All Might,
Yeah.
Bakugo, and Todoroki.
Then
You've only had them for 30 minutes.
Yeah, they had like, okay, you're allowed to help people, like, in limited capabilities. There's like, oh, there's something going on. Boom, I'm allowed to do this.
There's no time limit. I didn't see no restraint or restrictions.
I can see this now that Todoroki and Bakugo are caught up. I think Aizawa can actually bring all of them to the next tier in their teachings.
Yup.
Maybe actually using more of their signature moves. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's getting good.
Alrighty. Number 4, I have Act Age.
You got your high school life wish.
I got my high school life wish for Unagi, and she is awkward.
Did you really expect her to be any other way? Come on.
With her acting little abilities, I thought
she could act normal.
She could act normal. No, she is the only reason she was able to act and be friendly to other people was because they were actors, and the best way to hone your craft around actors is to talk to them, get their kind of vibe, and then just match it. Mm-hmm. Whereas school, you're not acting for a 30-minute scene. You're not acting for a 10-minute scene or a play. You don't act around people you're trying to make friends with. You are your true self. And when she just got up and sat down right next to a girl who she wanted to make her friend, just thought of her as weird and just got up and left.
She thought she was being fake too.
Yeah, she thought she was being fake or like practicing acting. It was like, that's...
And
I can see that.
They do draw on that and say that the only reason she was able to make like friends with the actors was because they all were working towards the same goal. And at school, you're not working towards the same goal with people. You're just going to the same school as them until you either eventually leave, or if you have common interests, then you can make friends with them.
Yeah.
And so she actually like was looking at a book that says how to make friends. It's like secret weapon, special interests or common interests.
Yeah, and that's really what gave her just a nudge in the right direction when one of her classmates goes up to her and asks her if she likes movies. It could have been a quick, like, shy kid, maybe trying to go for a confession, or just trying to learn a little bit about maybe someone he has a crush on. But no, he was very genuine. He like she likes movies, and they started talking about that and
I think it's a
getting
boy.
a connection.
Yoshioka?
Yes, I believe it's a boy. Did I say girl?
Yeah, I think you
Okay.
said she. I might have misheard you.
Okay, but yes, it looks like a boy with kind of maybe a crush, but no, it immediately goes into just interests,
Talking about movies.
talking about movies, and quite literally saying like I love movies. Like being able to say you love something takes a lot, especially in like manga. So when someone says they love something, they really mean it, and they're not shy of telling others. And Yonagi is asked to join the cinema club where they might be making a movie, and we see the previous girl along with an upperclassman. I think.
They're the same age. He
Oh,
just
they are.
yeah.
He's just huge.
They said they put his age as 16 in the. I don't remember if they gave the girl's name is Hina. The guy's name is Ryoma. I don't know if they gave Hina an age. I don't think they did. I'm pretty sure they're the same age, 16, because they're all supposed to be in high school. As
Yeah,
far as I can
and
tell.
in the same class. Yeah, she's 16. He's 16.
Yeah, he just men are bigger than women in most instances,
Yeah.
so it kind of makes sense. That and she has like a crush on him, and then he was actually asking about
Yanagi.
Yanagi. Oh, what kind of girl is she? Average.
Very
Oh
average.
darn.
But she says average, belittling
Yes.
Unagi because they they know she's good at sports. They know she gets decent grades, and
And
she's a quiet beauty. Like that's what other people see her as.
Yes.
So when she is saying that she's kind of average,
Yeah,
she's afraid. She's afraid of
Well, she's even
losing
basically
attention.
like in all of the like little internal monologues, or it's just like she ruined my day. She made my day worse.
Yeah.
So
You don't even know her. She's a wonderful mom and has maybe a boyfriend.
A wonderful-
I'm not sure.
no, her and Akira.
No, not Akira.
Who? Aya?
Yeah, yeah.
From
Just-
the
From the play.
really?
Just because
No.
how he had his arm around her and didn't want to
No.
didn't want to
Friendly, not
really get
no,
rid of that.
No.
It's like no, I'm doing
No.
this because I want to.
No. Not. I don't ship that.
I would like that.
I
I
don't
would like that one.
No, I don't ship that.
Okay. Ready. Next. Number 3. Promise Neverland. Okay.
All right. Let's delve into that one. What you got?
Ready. Promise Neverland. Stories there, and we every time I think we have something solid or going in a certain direction, we have so much more information being shoved down our throats than I really know how to keep straight. The allies that Mr. Minerva Norman is going to go speak with are dethroned,
Exiled.
yes, dethroned and exiled people of nobility, or that used to be nobility,
Mm-hmm.
and they hate the current nobility, the people who exiled them, as well as the family that Norman is
Ratry. The Ratry clan.
the Ratri clan that Norman maybe is a part of, or at least being a scapegoat of, because it was thought to believe that
because Minerva
James,
was part of the Ratry. Yeah.
that James Ratri died at a very young age, and Norman was given the name kind of adopted by the Ratries and given the name James. That is why Barbara refers to him as James in the previous chapter.
Yes.
I was really
It's deep. It's a deep cut.
very. But this meeting, they bring along the heads and most likely the brains of other farms or devils that were overlooking farms.
We have too many demons, devils, and curses. Yeah.
Yes.
It's,
And they're trying to make a treaty to aid both sides, letting these demons raise some food, eat some
the
demons.
idea. Go ahead.
It's really interesting seeing how many layers this goes in, and how far
Norman's planned a lot.
Norman has planned on the demon side. Oh, you can set up your own farms, you can be in charge again, and you just leave all of these other things alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, see, a lot of that it's in their favor. What do you get? Like, we get to live free, we get to build however we want, and we never deal with each other again.
Yeah, they get
Like,
their revenge, and
yeah.
they can do whatever to the Retri clan as well.
Yes, and that is a bargaining chip if I've ever heard one. And they sign a document with their blood. So yes, we have Mr. Minerva and this leader signing a agreement in blood, that they will be allies, that they will fight these demons to try to reclaim their hierarchy.
Oh yeah, there was one more note on that before they actually signed it.
Mm-hmm.
Was that if they lose, they get to eat Norman and all of the children that are there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another little thing.
And he's not planning, from the previous chapter, not planning on shedding any of their blood.
Mm-hmm.
He is planning to pit demons against demons, and
Using them as pawns.
But no, demons are going to be demons. They're also looking to backstab Norman, and
But he already knows that.
he already knows that. But the thing that they sign with blood, the leader can't resist himself, and he licks
Where he touched it.
where he left some blood, and says it's delicious.
And it was the meal of somebody who was even higher than the king. You can't read the name, but I'm guessing it's some high-ranking demon because it's in the demon
it is
speech.
the highest ranking demon.
Yes.
He was supposed to be a meal specifically for
Yeah.
that entity, and
It's
he
Cthulhu.
it might be the only one who has ever tasted Norman's blood.
Oh, the Lord guy in this?
Yes. So I can see him just off of that maybe getting a power boost, because he was walking around with his cane. I think he might be
Intelligence boost.
He might get an intelligence boost, or maybe a regenerative boost to his figure.
That's true. I did not think about that, but yeah, okay, that makes sense. It's plausible.
I can see. Well, the good thing is I can't really see what's going to happen next or how it's going to go down, and I like that.
And it keeps it fresh. Oh, there's a plane.
I think we were still good.
Okay.
Still good there.
Great.
Got number.
That was number 3 for you. So
Yeah.
what you got is number 2.
Number 2, Dr. Stone.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Dr. Stone. We're going. we're going to try to understand the Y signal that we received back. And what does Senku do? He taunts this entity that's spouting
Why?
He immediately tries to call him out as the person who created the world petrification attack.
Yes.
After he states that, they don't get a response.
Yeah, and it
It
actually
is
stops.
silent.
Yeah, it stops spouting the Y signal.
Like, Senku has
confirmed that it's not a repeating signal that's always been there.
yes, and it's also something that wasn't natural for the world to experience.
Oh.
This was someone who did
Intentionally.
something,
Yeah.
and maybe we don't know if it's intentional yet. It could be an experiment that went wrong, but we know it's someone. It's someone's fault.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we have the we have some like CERN laboratories constantly working on stuff. We have military laboratories constantly working on new technologies and the like. Something could just happen where
Oh, you mean receiving
That's-
the radio signal from space?
no, I mean other people in our world are working on different projects.
Yeah.
It is possible that at one point someone is going to trigger an experiment and it's going to lead to catastrophic results.
Oh.
This could be an instance of that. But we don't know.
Yeah.
Could be accident, could be intentional, but also there's someone else out there, and that still kind of
creepy.
is creepy.
But it makes it interesting.
Very. So we've got wrong way. We have a since we don't really know where he is or how they're getting this response. We have one of the strategists call him an invisible enemy. Senku
Ukyo.
Ukyo?
Ukyo.
Yes. With wonderful ears, correct?
He's just a
Was it-
skilled tracker.
Okay.
But yeah, he has good ear. He
His perception is very good.
Yeah.
Ears and eyes and smell.
he rolled max.
Yes. He
Every time.
he says they have an invisible enemy, and Senku says, "That's it. We need to be able to see something that's invisible." How do you do that? We're going to make a radar. They're going to make a display screen. They're going to make sonar and a radar that can read everything. When they get a lot of activity underwater, oh, what's that? It's a bunch of fish. They can, especially with what they made the radar out of, they can have a steady stream of fish now for really anywhere
Yeah, that also means that they can use that when they're
on their
traversing.
big boat.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and if they run out of bread, they have bread and fish.
Mm-hmm.
However, water would still be an issue. They could only carry so much water. You can't really unless
They
Senku
did
can make
have-
a way of desalinizing the salt water.
That's even hard right now in
I know.
real life.
That's what I'm saying.
But- I don't think that was really a problem in where they were located.
there was fresh water.
There was a lot of fresh water, so I think they might just stockpile it in barrels and just keep it very, very simple in that case.
So the boat will just have the fresh water and bread, and they'll just catch fish as they go, I guess.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I think they have that, and I really liked we got some sort of conclusion to this enemy that says why, because they showed another picture of the skull with all the teeth just shouting the why, and I just love it. I just love how frightening it looks.
Yeah, it looks like something straight out of a horror manga.
Yeah,
But it's interesting.
very much so. That's why I got that number 2.
And for good reason.
Yeah. For number 1, for me again this week, Black Clover.
Yes, it was also my number 1 for this week.
Black Clover is giving me everything I really want right now. Cammy is still punching Rill and destroying his world with some more food related punches. We have Noelle fighting Fauna, and really she's not able to make any headway.
That healing magic.
Yeah, healing magic against, a rampaging Tempest. It's not. It's whichever one goes out first, until we get the captain of the Green Mantis. And with his slicing magic, I like his character. I've liked him since he really showed up as one of the captains.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Ninatora, the fifth Espada from Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like his character design because of that.
Yeah, I can see that, and yeah, kind of like the craziness with slicing. It's really funny to see it with Noelle.
Why are you of all people?
When she really just wanted Asta and anti-magic. But we see Asta very creepily finding one of the elves just knocked out. Really, who did this? This was
apparently
that broke in and took him out. Is facing the I would say top 3 elves.
just below Lich.
Yeah. And he's going up against copy magic, light based magic, and someone else who I'm not very familiar with.
The Ronnie guy who's new.
He speaks very, very softly, kind of like Gordon has been.
But they can't even translate his text or translate what he's saying in the text. It's just straight lines.
Yes.
Or wiggly lines.
And they're starting to attack Yuno, and they want his pendant. They want... Oh, number one, they want Yuno to give up his body for someone else to be resurrected in.
Yes.
But someone else wants the magic stone that he has. From the get-go, when this series started, you saw Yuno with this crystal around him at all times.
Mm-hmm.
Once we saw one magic crystal appear, we knew that was another magic crystal, but it didn't have any significance really until now, when it actually gets taken from him. Yuno doesn't care if it's a magic crystal or not. He has had it since his birth, or since he was adopted by the church.
Mm-hmm.
That is his and his alone.
Yeah.
I don't think he would even offer it. I don't think he would even offer it to Asta. Like,
no, Asta had to go out of his way to get it back for him and got beaten to a pulp.
Yeah.
Or at least a black eye.
Yeah.
Good old Shiner.
And then we have this quiet character actually speak up, and the other elf is able to tell when people are lying, because he lies all the time. He is nearly one of the best at it.
The creepy black smile with no teeth.
Yes, I believe what was resurrected might be the
one that actually killed the elves.
The one that actually
because it wasn't
killed the elves.
Yeah.
The other thing is, you know, not the character. Do you remember the giant demon that on, if you're watching the anime, is constantly on all the
Oh,
anime?
the intro.
Yes, where
Okay.
it's fighting against the
Yeah,
four-leaf clover,
yeah,
uh,
the first
Wizard King. This I don't think is. It could be the Wizard King just gone mad, or it could be a reincarnation of that devil in elf body form. Because he immediately goes for a killing move, not maiming.
No, just straight up.
Straight up, this is to kill you.
That's a interesting hypothesis.
I'm really hoping it's that. I don't think it would be like like human friend
Probably not.
that was in there. I think this is one of the main instigators for the war against the humans and the elves, or it could be a demon itself. The big demon in
Yeah, or even one of the lesser ones that worked under it or something.
yeah,
It might be something we don't know.
could be something we don't know it in its entirety.
Because, I mean, they introduce new concepts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the dwarves got a chap. We just barely found out that they were officially a race in this universe. So it's entirely possible that demons are, like, part of that.
We know
have
we know of a
dungeons.
demon
Who?
inside of the swords of Asta.
Oh!
Those
yes.
demons.
But
They
we haven't seen one manifested in a person, though.
Exactly. We have seen Asta kind of take a portion of his body as the demon and talking to him.
Yeah.
Maybe this could be
Like a possession.
a possession of that. Because
They used
Asta's weapons used to be someone else's, an elf's weapons.
Yeah.
So maybe that demon is here now.
Oh, and they were his weapons.
They were his weapons.
Oh.
And that's what really did the turn for the elves and the humans. I don't know.
The possibilities are pretty much endless. I mean, 'cause he could write it in any different way.
Yeah, and I hope really any of the ways that we talked about, I would be ecstatic to see, because we have very little information of what was the actual thing that made them fight against each other.
Yeah.
We knew other elves were calling the human as a traitor and brought humans to fight, but we really don't know if that's true. That was just assumptions. I don't know.
Yeah, they earned my number one spot this week too.
Yeah, and that'll pretty much wrap up this week in Jump.